Has anyone been able to recently close using one of those programs? Any shares? Any takeaways? No crickets? Are we happy here closing the number of loans we're closing every month individually?
Heck no.
Who said that?
C did.
Okay, C did. Good. Someone's awake. Someone's being honest. Well, tell me then, guys, what are you guys seeing out in the market? What are kind of the road bumps, the roadblocks right now, and that's preventing you guys from closing another deal or two every month, and specifically pertaining to those the programs that we just introduced the past 2 months?
My struggle is just most of the leads that I touch, they're just not qualified. Okay. Even with our arsenal, I can't make anything out of it.
Okay. Now, if I can address that real quick, see, you said on those leads, even with the programs introduced, but are you taking those programs to the source, to the realtor who will fish that type of client for you?
I haven't with the refers, but during my cold call efforts, yes, I am pitching those products.
Okay, great. Okay. What means are you pitching those programs? Curious.
Preferably phone calls, text messages, followed by emails.
Okay. Harrison, if you can chime in, do we have flyers and things that we can prevent via email in person on each of these programs that we've discussed over the past 2 months?
No, some I do, but not all of them. But okay. I can definitely make that.
Yeah, no. Well, my daughter goes into school next week, so I'll be in the office a lot more frequently. We'll touch up on all that too. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Great. Anyone else? What are the deterrents and roadblocks right now? That's or simply put, how can we help further get an extra closing or two every month for you guys? Have rates been an issue for you guys?
I'll go in. I mean, Ragnar. For me, I think personally, I just haven't done enough marketing. I relied a lot on my contacts and, warm market, the fact that I know they know me and stuff, but I found out that it's not enough. There's a lot of people out there that I know, but they have established relationships, and it's kind of hard to break into their existing relationships. So I got to figure out a different way to build them in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because thankfully I know a lot of people, but it's I've been trying without doing a lot of marketing, just the people that know me, and I haven't been able to get through it. So I got to figure out a different way, and maybe I haven't done enough. So I got to maybe twist things a little bit to take advantage of the fact that I do know a lot of people, a lot of agents, and recognize that they have a mortgage guide right now, because I've been out of the game for a minute. But I know they're there. I know they're doing deals. They're not as busy as, we would hope. But if they have a deal in process, I should be able to take a shot at it. Whether we win it or not is different. But the thing is, I need to be able to get those people looking this way, so we can at least, put our offer on the table.
For sure. One suggestion, I may have someone kind of touched up on it on our call a while back, but take components of one of these programs, say a DSCR. It doesn't necessarily look. I'm going to be honest. If you just go out there as a loan officer and present a DSCR product, hey, we got this great DSCR product, it's not going to really stick, right? But if you present it as a solution to a problem, you'll probably have a better chance, right? And what I mean by that is, instead of me going into a real estate office and say, hey guys, I'm Ragnar from Giving Tree Lending. We have this amazing DSCR program, the rates are amazing, and we can close in 21 days. That's really, for the most part, ineffective. That's just going to fall on deaf ears. But if you go in and say, hey, I'm Freddie with Giving Tree Lending, do you work with flip and flip investors? Is your flip and flip investor having issues dealing with qualifying because of lack of reserves? Or do you have an investor who has a 10 or 12% rate and they want to refinance that into a lower 7% rate, right? If you go in presenting a solution to potential problems, you'll catch someone's ear a lot quicker, right? So for me too, with this one, I mean, case in point, when I went into Lifetime last week, I shared my story of DSCR, and in my sharing from the very beginning, I said, hey, we got there's two other lenders in the office, right? One from Guild Mortgage and another one from American something out in Costa Mesa. I said, look, every lender has a DSCR product, but does your borrower who wants to lower or refinance their investment property into a lower rate, are they facing reserve issues? Okay, our program allows donor funds. That's what caught the owner of the brokerage's ear. And that's why the owner of the brokerage came to me afterwards and said, hey, can you tell me more about your program? Right? I gave them elements that could potentially be a solution to a problem that caught someone's ear. Just a quick take, Freddie. That's all it is. Yep. Ian, anything? What are you seeing out in the market? Are you having issues with rates, being competitive with rates? Are your fees too high? Are the programs not enough?
I think it's just being more self-aware of the blind spots of what your offerings are.
Uh-huh.
So I'm being more, I don't know about everybody else, I'm just being more self-aware of where my blind spots are. So maybe jumbo pricing, right? The reason why I don't do a lot of jumbos is because I'm almost self-imposing on myself that I'm not going to be competitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do share what your rate was for the proposed closing that you're going to have. I saw Peter posted something on Instagram about a nice closing. I don't know if it's yours, Peter's, or someone else's, for that $2.2 or $3 million sales price, right? That's invariably a jumbo. So maybe share with us what that rate was, right? And how you're able to beat the competition, if there's any, that kind of thing. Do you remember that post, Peter?
Yes.
For jumbo?
Yes, I do.
Right. So you're closing that jumbo, Ragnar. What was the rate on that, and how did you have to compete?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my CD that I shared, but it was 7.375 on a DSCR though. That was a DSCR.
Okay.
And the new one that I'm doing is also a DSCR. And the rate on that one is actually, because the rates have dropped for the past month, is 6.875 with a no PPP.
Okay.
Right? Amazing, right? And I'm still going to be making 1.5 points on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So WMB
WMB is that your go-to now for DSCR then, I suppose, for what
for now, yes, because the pricing is really, really good. And they have a lot of, I guess what you would consider exceptions, right? That's part of their actual guidelines. They are very, very liberal in their guidelines, let's say.
To answer your question, Ian, what Harrison and I are doing is going over the closings in 2025 and post one thing at a time from January 2025. Okay. So I'll show you what we had. So the closing specifically was, let me Google search a few things before I show you or screen share. So maybe this is a good determining point of where I was selling or how I was selling the product. So jumbo full doc loans go by the 10-year treasury bond. We funded this one on March 2025. 10-year bond back then was at around 4.301, 4.285-ish. knowing that, having that in mind, that we locked some term in February. So the 10-year treasury bond back then and today are very similar.
Similar, yeah.
We quoted 7.375 on $2.16 million loan. And we charged 0.139 of the loan fee as origination point. And my rebate was at 2.2%. So quickly recapping, my commission was $50,520. So maybe taking, let's say, broker split, it's $35,000 if it were a self-gen. If it were a company gen, $25,000. What I'm trying to present here was understanding the different underwriting guidelines of Chase Bank, BofA, BMO, and Citibank. And you may question, Peter, where can I find these underwriting guidelines? So it took me a little bit long for me to understand which investor or lender sends their jumbo loans to. So what I usually do is go to the Loan Sifter, download the underwriting guidelines, throw it into Gemini and GPT and say, hey, this is my situation. Where do I send this file to? And you may wonder, hey, don't we submit our jumbo loans to NMSI or PennyMac all the time? Why Arc Home out of nowhere? Surprisingly, Loan Sifter throws random pricing time to time. Today, AM West wins the conforming loan. When did ever AM West won a conventional loan? Never. But today, NMSI is worse than AM West. So if you build a habit of running the loan pricing every single day, when a situation comes into play, then you get to answer. Realtors or buyers don't allow you to, or they don't appreciate when you say, oh, let me get back to you. Let me come back to you. You lost your chance already. Or that's at least what I say. When I talk to my AEs, when they don't sound competent and knowledgeable, I don't send it to them, because when the problem comes up, I want my AEs to know how to overcome the problem before it comes up. Again, hi Bell, we were taught, I was taught PennyMac always beats NMSI, but NMSI is doing something ridiculously different. They're beating. Let's go to jumbo products.
Sorry, Peter, who did you use? Who was the lender on the one you just closed right there?
Arc Home.
Oh, Arc Home, okay. Why did you go with Arc?
Because of the pricing.
Okay, that's it. So strictly that.
Yes, and then I drew the puzzle game from the Arc Home. So surprisingly, jumbo loan is better with NMSI as well. So my point here, what I'm trying to make is read as many underwriting guidelines as possible to know the debt to income ratio, know the underwriting guideline. I'm going to share one more jumbo loan that we didn't post. This was funding on May. Final CD, where can we find it? And this was sent to NMSI. And team, starting last 2 weeks ago, we became a non-deal with NMSI. So our loan docs with NMSI won't show NMSI logo on there anymore. We can.
Congratulations.
And we don't have any funding conditions. Gia will share more information. I'm sure she always has shared, but if needed, we can have another time, 10-15 minutes, and see how we can present this. It was a $1.6 million loan. 7.1. We didn't charge any origination fee, just the admin and underwriting fee, just typical. My
What kind of loan is this, Peter? Full doc? No
it's
ratio.
Full doc. Full doc, 7-1 ARM product. So instead of doing a 30-year mortgage, where my rebate was only 0.5, I was able to negotiate with the borrower, demanding him to pay off his credit cards and car payment. I think it was a credit card payment. Let me see the payoff. So there was, I don't know where maybe I can show you the settlement statement. So he was able to pay, not it was seller. Maybe he paid out of escrow.
Yeah, he paid off before closing.
Out of escrow. Okay, so I was able to ask him to pay off his liabilities so that our backend DTI falls below 41%, and my rebate grew about $20,000. So with this loan amount, my rebate was $29,000, and I didn't have any competitions. Everybody that he was contacting to was giving 7.625 to 7.75. So I strongly believe knowledge is the power, especially at this market when we can just penetrate through at the site, at the meetings. But at the same time, practice makes perfect.